I think it's important to talk about how setting boundaries with other people and yourself contribute to weight loss. And when I say weight loss, I don't mean diet mentality weight loss. I mean building a healthy lifestyle weight loss. Like, that's what makes it sustainable and long term. So, this isn't about setting boundaries with other people because you're on a diet and your goal is to lose weight. This is about setting boundaries with other people because that's how you build a healthy lifestyle, and your healthy lifestyle contributes to you losing weight in a way that will last forever, just to clarify that. So, how does this work? You use Oprah as an example how this works. So, we're struggling with emotional eating, many of us. And a good example is when Oprah said in one of her speeches a few years ago that when she has meetings at work, for example, and people tell her what she's doing, or people give her things to do, or whatever, and she doesn't like it, if it doesn't resonate with her, if it doesn't sit well with her, she doesn't really say anything because she likes to avoid conflict and she doesn't want to have a confrontation. And so she just kind of says, okay, I do what you tell me to do. And then she goes home and eats her feelings about it. A lot of people can relate to this. Oprah is just like us, an emotional eater. So when she's in a situation where someone says, this is what you're doing, and she doesn't like it, there is no boundary there. She is not saying that she's not giving her preference. She's just kind of doing what she's told. And this contributes to her going home and emotionally eating about it. So my point is, when I talk about weight and weight loss and health and dieting and all of those things, and why diets don't work and why all of these other forms of dieting will never work, is because you can count points on Weight Watchers all day, every day, but it's still not addressing the fact that you aren't standing up for yourself at work. And that is the root problem. That's the emotional stimulus that is making you go home and eat your feelings. And then you count points for the food that you're eating, but you can't solve an emotional problem with a physical solution. You can't solve the emotional problem of not having boundaries and not standing up for yourself with points or dieting or restriction or whatever. So I have a client, I'm going to call her Kathy, because she doesn't want me to ever use her real name. So Kathy was a manager at work, and she had an employee who was kind of walking all over her. And Kathy is the kind of person who grew up just like I did, just like a lot of us do, where we don't speak up. We just do what we have to do, and we power through it, and we are martyrs. And if we are uncomfortable or if we're unhappy, we just like bite our tongue and stay strong and do what other people ask us to do or tell us to do or whatever, like Oprah. And so part of Kathy's situation was she would come home, just like Oprah, and binge on food around it. She was kind of like biting her tongue all day, not expressing her real feelings all day. To our brain, this is, again, danger, because you're not, repressed emotion is literally just danger to your brain and, what's the word? Chaos for your nervous system. If you're feeling things and you're not able to do something about it or express it, and you're trying all day to keep it down, you will go home and find some form of safety, find some form of feeling better. For a lot of us, it's food and eating. Could be dieting, but that could be another video. So when we work together around standing up to this person, and like, you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be rude about it. That's the thing about boundaries. You can do it in a way that is productive, without being obnoxious. And so when we talked about setting boundaries at work, not letting this person at work walk all over her, and actually putting her foot down, something really cool happened where she would use the coping skills that we talked about, breathing exercises, some meditation, journaling. And then she went home and didn't eat about it. It stopped being her coping mechanism because she was exploring other things. There were emotional solutions for the emotional problem, not physical solutions to the emotional problem. And this is what it looks like. So if emotional eating is the reason that you're gaining weight, just like it was for me and just like it is for a lot of people, you want to find emotional solutions, not physical solutions. So one of those emotional solutions can be and should be setting boundaries with the people in your life so that you don't have to feel like they're walking all over you all day long or they're taking advantage of you or whatever. This comes down to speaking your truth and expressing it to other people because, really, of the mind-body connection. If you're living in a place where you're not expressing yourself and you're not allowing your truth to be heard, and again, you don't need to go into the deep, deep truth that belongs in your journal. You don't need to be obnoxious about it, but you do need to stop letting people walk all over you. And so this is why, for me, healthy, sustainable, holistic mind, body weight loss comes down to self-worth and self-love. This is not about dieting. You can't portion control your way out of emotional habits and communication patterns. You just can't. But that's why when you have a solid sense of yourself and self-worth and self-love, suddenly it becomes easier for you to say, no, that doesn't sit right. That doesn't resonate with me. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable about this or whatever it is. And once you get that out, your brain can chill out, your nervous system chills out, and suddenly you're back in safety, not danger. And then you don't have to seek out food and eating or binging or restricting or dieting or weight loss or any of those physical things to bring you back into being okay. We need emotional solutions to emotional problems, not physical solutions to emotional problems. So I say this because a lot of us have issues with boundaries. Many of the people that I work with who are struggling with emotional eating come from a place of being the strong one and keeping it together, which is really a glorified way of being a people pleaser. Instead of allowing yourself to feel sad or scared or anxious or whatever we have felt, we try to do a good job of saying, no, I'm fine, I'm good. And that is part of the reason, that was the reason that I was over 300 pounds. And that's the reason a lot of people struggle with overeating, because it's one of those things that can make you feel the comfort you're not getting all day. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope that this helps. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Oh.